The electrical code applicable to metal buildings is the 2017 National Electrical Code, or NEC. Romex, which is non-metallic sheath cable, is generally not permitted in metal buildings due to its vulnerability to damage from sharp edges and corrosion. The preferred wiring methods for metal buildings are conduit. Electrical wires are run through protective metal or polyvinyl chloride, or PVC pipes. Electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, is a lightweight metal tubing that protects wires from mechanical damage. Rigid conduit, or RMC, is a heavy-duty metal pipe that provides maximum protection for wires. Additional considerations include grounding. Metal buildings must be properly grounded to protect against electrical shocks. Bonding requires that all metal components, such as roofing, siding, and gutters, must be bonded together to create a continuous electrical path. Clearances are important. Wires must be kept a certain distance away from metal surfaces to prevent arcing or shorts. Inspection and certification is also crucial. All electrical work in metal buildings must be inspected and certified by a licensed electrician to ensure compliance with the NEC. Using Romex in a metal building may not meet the code requirements and could pose a safety hazard. Therefore, the use of Romex, or non-metallic sheath cable, in metal buildings presents several potential issues. Firstly, physical damage is a major concern. Metal buildings often have sharp edges and burrs that can easily damage the Romex sheathing. This damage can expose the wires inside, creating a risk of electrical shock or fire. Secondly, Romex is not designed for use in damp or corrosive environments. Metal buildings are often prone to condensation, which can lead to corrosion of the Romex conductors. This corrosion can cause the wires to fail, leading to electrical problems. Thirdly, electrical codes typically restrict the use of Romex in metal buildings. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, which is widely adopted in the United States, specifies approved wiring methods for different types of buildings. Conduit, electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, and rigid metal conduit, or RMC, are generally preferred for metal buildings due to their durability and protection against physical damage and corrosion. When selecting wiring methods for metal buildings, several factors should be considered. 1. The environment is important. Determine if the building is prone to dampness, condensation, or corrosive elements. 2. Consider the mechanical protection. Assess the potential for physical damage to the wiring system. 3. Compliance with electrical codes is mandatory. Ensure that the selected wiring method meets the requirements of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and any local amendments. 4. Evaluate the cost. Compare the costs of different wiring methods, including materials and labor. 5. Consider ease of installation. Choose a wiring method that is relatively easy to install and maintain. Conduit systems offer several advantages for wiring metal buildings. Firstly, they provide excellent physical protection to the conductors. Secondly, they are resistant to corrosion and moisture. Thirdly, they offer flexibility for future wiring changes. Fourthly, they meet the requirements of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, for metal buildings. Electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, is a lightweight and threaded metal conduit. It is commonly used in commercial and industrial buildings for protecting electrical wiring. Electrical metallic tubing, or IMT, is easy to bend and cut, making it a versatile option for various applications. Rigid metal conduit, or RMC, is a heavy-walled, threaded metal conduit. It provides maximum protection for electrical wiring in harsh environments. Rigid metal conduit, or RMC, is typically used in areas where there is a risk of physical damage or corrosion. Grounding and bonding are essential safety measures in metal buildings. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and preventing electrical shock. Bonding ensures that all metal parts of the building are electrically connected, creating a low impedance path for fault current. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, specifies the requirements for grounding and bonding in metal buildings. These requirements include the use of grounding electrodes, bonding jumpers, and proper wiring methods. Regular inspections and maintenance are crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems in metal buildings. Inspections should be performed by qualified electricians to identify any potential hazards or code violations. Maintenance tasks include tightening connections, replacing damaged wiring, and testing grounding systems. Failing to properly ground and bond a metal building can have serious consequences. Firstly, it increases the risk of electrical shock to occupants. Secondly, it can damage electrical equipment due to voltage surges. Thirdly, it can create a fire hazard due to arcing and overheating. In addition to the National Electrical Code, or NEC, there may be local electrical codes and regulations that apply to metal buildings. It is important to check with the local building department or a licensed electrician to ensure compliance with all applicable codes. Working with electricity can be dangerous. It is always recommended to hire a qualified electrician to perform electrical work in metal buildings. Electricians have the training, experience, and equipment necessary to safely install and maintain electrical systems. When hiring an electrician, be sure to check their credentials and references. Ensure that they are licensed and insured. Ask for a written estimate before work begins. Get familiar with the National Electrical Code, or NEC, requirements for metal buildings. Understand the importance of grounding and bonding. Ensure that all electrical work is performed by a qualified electrician. Conduct regular inspections and maintenance of the electrical system. Be aware of potential hazards and take steps to mitigate them. Metal buildings present unique challenges for electrical wiring due to their construction and environment. The choice of wiring methods, grounding, and bonding techniques must be carefully considered to ensure safety and compliance with electrical codes. Consulting with a licensed electrician is essential for ensuring that the electrical system is properly installed and maintained. Firstly, select appropriate wiring methods such as conduit, electrical metallic tubing, or EMS, or rigid metal conduit, or RMC, based on the environmental conditions and potential for physical damage. Secondly, ensure proper grounding and bonding of all metal components to minimize the risk of electrical shock. Thirdly, comply with the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and local electrical codes. Fourthly, hire a qualified electrician for all electrical work. Fifthly, conduct regular inspections and maintenance to identify and address any potential hazards. When planning the electrical system for a metal building, consider the following factors. 1. The size and layout of the building. 2. The intended use of the building. 3. The number and type of electrical loads. 4. The environmental conditions such as temperature, humidity, and corrosive elements. 5. The budget for the electrical system. Proper planning is essential for ensuring that the electrical system meets the needs of the building and complies with all applicable codes. If Romex is already installed, an electrician can assess its condition and determine if it is safe to use. If the Romex is damaged or corroded, it should be replaced with an approved wiring method. Even if the Romex appears to be in good condition, it is recommended to consult with an electrician to ensure that it meets the code requirements and is suitable for the intended use. In some cases, it may be possible to protect the Romex with conduit or other means to make it compliant with the code. However, this is not always feasible or cost-effective. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed requirements for electrical installations in various types of buildings. The NEC is updated every 3 years to reflect changes in technology and safety standards. It is important to use the latest edition of the NEC when designing and installing electrical systems. Local jurisdictions may also have their own electrical codes and regulations which may be more stringent than the NEC. It is important to check with the local building department to determine the applicable codes. The cost of wiring a metal building depends on several factors, including the size of the building, the complexity of the electrical system, and the choice of wiring methods. Conduit and other approved wiring methods are typically more expensive than Romex. However, the increased cost is justified by the increased safety and durability of these wiring methods. It is important to get multiple bids from qualified electricians before starting any electrical work. This will help you to get the best price and ensure that the work is done properly. Electrical safety is paramount in metal buildings. By following the recommendations outlined and consulting with a licensed electrician, you can ensure that the electrical system is safe, reliable, and compliant with all applicable codes. Ignoring these recommendations can lead to serious consequences, including electrical shock, fire, and property damage. Remember to prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals to ensure the proper installation and maintenance of electrical systems in metal buildings. Also note that while electrical metallic tubing, or EMT, offers good protection, it is not suitable for all environments. In areas with high levels of corrosion or physical stress, rigid metal conduit, or RMC, may be a better choice. The selection of the appropriate conduit type should be based on a careful assessment of the specific conditions of the installation. Moreover, consider using ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in areas where there is a risk of electrical shock, such as bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor locations. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, can quickly detect and interrupt ground faults, preventing serious injury or death. Also, surge protection devices, or SPDs, can protect electronic equipment from voltage surges caused by lightning or other electrical disturbances. Surge protection devices, or SPDs, are especially important in metal buildings, which are more susceptible to lightning strikes. Always keep electrical panels and equipment accessible for inspection and maintenance. Do not block access with storage or other items. Ensure that all electrical panels are properly labeled with circuit directories. Regularly inspect electrical cords and equipment for damage. Replace any damaged cords or equipment immediately. Never overload electrical circuits. Use the correct size fuses or circuit breakers for each circuit. Firstly, ensure all electrical work complies with the latest edition of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and local codes. Secondly, use appropriate wiring methods such as conduit, electrical metallic tubing, or EMT, or rigid metal conduit, or RMC, based on the environment. Thirdly, implement proper grounding and bonding techniques. Fourthly, install ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in areas where there's a risk of electrical shock. Fifthly, use surge protection devices, or SPDs, to protect electronic equipment. Sixthly, keep electrical panels accessible and properly labeled. Seventhly, regularly inspect electrical cords and equipment. Eighthly, avoid overloading circuits. When retrofitting an existing metal building with new electrical wiring, it is important to carefully assess the existing wiring system. Determine if the existing wiring is adequate for the new electrical loads. If the existing wiring is not adequate, it should be replaced with new wiring that meets the current code requirements. It is also important to inspect the existing grounding and bonding system. Ensure that the grounding and bonding system is properly installed and maintained. If the grounding and bonding system is not adequate, it should be upgraded to meet the current code requirements. When installing new electrical wiring in a metal building, it is important to properly support the wiring. The wiring should be supported with clamps, straps, or other approved methods. The wiring should be supported at intervals that are close enough to prevent sagging or damage. It is also important to protect the wiring from physical damage. The wiring should be installed in conduit or other protective enclosures. The wiring should be routed away from sharp edges or other potential hazards. Before energizing any new electrical wiring, it is important to test the wiring. The wiring should be tested for continuity, insulation resistance, and proper grounding. The testing should be performed by a qualified electrician. If the wiring fails any of the tests, it should be repaired or replaced before being energized. Regularly inspect the electrical system for any signs of damage or deterioration. Look for things such as frayed wires, loose connections, and corroded components. If any problems are found, they should be repaired immediately. Also, keep a record of all electrical work that is performed in the building. This record should include the date of the work, the name of the electrician who performed the work, and a description of the work that was performed. Having a record of all electrical work will help to ensure that the electrical system is properly maintained. It will also be helpful if you ever need to sell the building.